Are you new to Kamado grilling? Well, I want to help you avoid these common mistakes before you fire up the Kamado. So stick around as we jump right in. This common mistakes video doesn't matter what Kamado brand you have, it's universal. So definitely be sure to stick around and like and subscribe and do all the things. From my backyard to yours, less hate, more love. Good barbecue. When a man turns 35 or 40, they get into one or two things. They either become a World War II history buff, I'm gonna leave that up to my dad, or they become a barbecue hero, and that's what I wanna help you do, and that's the path I chose. So definitely fire up that grill and let's get to learning. Mistake number one is using briquettes. It's going to create excessive amounts of ash, clogging those vents, not making it efficient for you. And also it's gonna make cleanup just a nightmare because it produces so much ash in the ash drawer that it's just something that you're not gonna want to use. So obviously use lump charcoal as an easy way to avoid that mistake and make your life a lot easier.
Scott, do you have lump charcoal that you suggest us using?
Oh man, that's a hot topic. There's tons of videos out there debating and showing and saying, man, this is the best lump charcoal, but you want to use just a good hardwood lump charcoal. My personal preference is for you to just cook on multiple brands of lump charcoal. Do your research on where it's from, how it lights, does it spark, is it long lasting, is it big chunks, small chunks, or just a lot of shards, and aim for big block. Kamado Joe sells big block lump charcoal, and there's a few other companies out there that are great for you to check out. I'll put a list either on the screen or in the description for you to check out, but for the most part, my encouragement as a newbie is just try out multiple lump brands and determine what you like best and what performs best. Mistake number two is using too much lump charcoal. Throwing the whole bag in? Not a good idea. Too much lump charcoal in your charcoal basket is going to stifle airflow. And as you begin to master your Kamado, you're gonna find what that good balance is depending on if you're doing low or slow or hot and fast. But when you're using big blocks of lump charcoal, typically you're able to get efficiency, and the Kamado itself is going to be super efficient in retaining heat. And so less heat is going to be really crucial when it comes to just having the right amount of charcoal in your basket where there's a lot of room for air to come through the bottom vent, escape from the top, and get you that airflow and the heat you need. So really too much lump is a mistake I see, and I used to make it myself because we all have to start somewhere. And so just experiment to see what that looks like, but maybe doing a half basket oftentimes with big, large chunks of lump usually goes a long way of having a really efficient fire for most of what you're doing, even hot and fast or low and slow.
Scott, do you get a lot of airflow through your bottom vent?
I don't even know what to say to that, but yes. Mistake number three is using excessive amount of wood. Don't put the whole bag in. Don't even put like 4 or 5 chunks in there. Wood is flavor, my friends, but you only need so much. I like to use wood chunks, but even small wood splits work in a Kamado. And this brand right here, I love. Man, you're able to get any different wood flavor you like and put it right in there. But honestly, wood is another type of seasoning for your cook, no matter what you're cooking. So use it lightly and mindfully of what you're trying to cook and the flavor you're trying to add. For the most part, lump charcoal is gonna add enough flavor for you, but this is just another ingredient to the recipe. So don't be dumping tons of wood in there or even wood chips. Although I've seen a lot of folks use wood chips, put it in their ashtray there as another way of getting more wood flavor. Experiment, but for the most part, if you put too much in there, it's going to just make things too smoky. But be mindful of the recipe as well and where you place it. And I also like to place the wood underneath the charcoal bed and dump the charcoal over it as a way of getting an efficient wood flyer. Mistake number 4 is using lighter fluid. Now this is one that I don't see often, but it's just worth mentioning. There is better ways to light your fire in your Kamado. I love using my grill torch. It's awesome. You can find different grill torches for different prices, or just get little fire starters and throw them in your charcoal, lighting it that way, and get that clean burn and fire the right way. So make sure you're not doing that because honestly, that's gonna just make it more chemically and not taste real good when you get going. Mistake number 5 is ignoring vent settings on your Kamado. Now every Kamado is gonna have different type of, if it's a daisy wheel, if it's one like this cap even comes off if I want it to, just to get a hot burn. But if you ignore your vent settings, you light it and it's all the way open on the bottom vent, top vent, you leave for 10 minutes or so and you have a roaring fire and you overshoot your temperature, or if you just think it doesn't matter, you're gonna overshoot, undershoot, if you're ignoring your vent settings. These little dashes on your Kamado, no matter what brand, are helping guide you. And for the most part, almost closed on the bottom vent is going to be more that low and slow, where all the way open is going to be more hot and fast, specifically grilling and doing direct grilling, versus low and slow barbecue or hot and fast barbecue is probably going to be somewhere in that 2 or 3 mid-range. So don't ignore those, pay attention, it makes a difference. Mistake number 6 is simply not cleaning your heat deflectors. This really is an efficient way to clean your Kamado. You get all this leftover junk and also grease, you can get grease fires. You can get acidity from the heat deflector. Things can, like white smoke can come from heat deflectors, just making it really dirty when you're cooking. So be sure to clean this. Don't use a lighter just to go like this. Just fire up your grill and do a clean burn between every cook. Just flip it and get that clean burn. Cleaning these off, and definitely will be more efficient way to clean your heat deflectors. Mistake number 8, is it 8? Mistake number 8 is not burping your grill. You want to make sure when you're going and you got a hot fire, or you're in the middle of the cook, especially when you're grilling, when you open this up, you're gonna see all that smoke come out, especially when you're hot and fast. But even when you're using heat deflectors, or depending on your Kamado, things will get really hot in here, and you want to burp it for safety. Otherwise, you can have all that combustion come back, and kind of that backdraft that comes in and out, and you really could. I've singed hair on my arms, and I would say I've been doing this for a long time, and I still occasionally do that. So I always have to remind myself to burp this Kamado a few times, get that air out, let that smoke come out, and get that airflow and that all that gas coming out, so that you have a good, safe opening. So make sure you're doing that for safety and also efficiency when you're cooking. Mistake number 9 is simply cooking with white smoke. Early on, whenever I started cooking on a Kamado, I was so just prideful seeing white smoke bellow from the grill, just going, man, I'm cooking, I'm barbecuing, this is awesome. And what I later found out is that white smoke can be very acidic, adding unnecessary dirty flavor to your cooking process and your meal. And so you want to wait till you get a clean burn, clean fire. And we've talked about a lot of other mistakes, but having a clean control tower, clean heat deflectors, but also letting your fire get white hot, and then putting all those grill grates and heat deflectors on as it's coming up at temperature, all leads to making sure you have a clean burn. But essentially this is going to help you get blue smoke versus white smoke, which is dirty and bad. Mistake 10 is not doing maintenance on your Kamado. Depending on the model and the brand, this one has an airlift hinge, but you want to, that can, adjust your dome. And if you don't do that, it can just drop on you like this. Tighten your bolts, your hinges, all these things, cleaning all the insides maybe once a year, twice a year, doing a hot burn. Ignoring maintenance is gonna just make it more stressful for you. You know, grease fires, a lot of different issues depending on the brand you use. Just make sure you're doing your typical maintenance annually, but even after each cook, cleaning grill grates outside of your dome, keeping things not only clean just because it looks good, but also practically, especially when it comes to grease buildup on your control towers, and those heat deflectors and grill grates are the main places, and also dumping ash out every cook once it's cooled down. So again, ignoring these maintenance of your Kamado is just gonna make your life a lot more stressful and inefficient when you're cooking. Friends, if you're finding value in this video, on this Kamado mistakes video, be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things, make comments, give us your advice as well. And this really helps our channel. We appreciate the support. Top 5 tips for using a Kamado. Tip number 1 is using lump charcoal. We already mentioned that in the mistake, but be sure to use a good brand of lump charcoal like Kamado Joe, even like a Jealous Devil. There's a lot of different brands out there that you can explore, but you want good hardwood that's gonna last a long time and efficient cook. Tip number 2 is dialing in those temperatures using your control tower. The best principle using Kamado is more airflow is going to be higher heat, less amount of airflow is going to be less amount of heat. And so controlling your control tower or your top vent in the top setting, opening it wide open, bottom vent wide open is going to get great airflow to get your temperature up hot and fast really quick, and then dial it in, you know, at that 1 notch, the 2 notch, or the 1 notch or 2 notch on the bottom, depending on the brand. This is really gonna help you dial it in. We kind of already mentioned what temperatures get you to certain places, but make sure you're actually playing around and actually using your vent towers and your vent controls to really get the desired temperature that you need. Tip number 3 is simply preheat that grill. It's going to make your life a lot easier, and it's going to be more efficient once you put on that meat like brisket, your pork butt. Even when you're grilling steaks, preheating your grill is just going to make your cook go a lot faster and more efficiently. Tip number 4 is cleaning your ash. Make sure you're dumping out your ash. I even have an ash can here, and the very next day I always empty it out because this can stifle your airflow. So making sure that you're actually cleaning that out, shaking the basket, getting all that unnecessary ash. But also, you know, you can even reuse old lump charcoal for your next cook. That's going to even help you depending on what you're cooking. Tip number 5 is just safety first. Be ready in case you have a crazy fire. Although you have a Kamado grill that's super efficient, and if there is an out of control fire, like you got heat deflectors that were on fire from a previous grease, and you just need to shut the dome essentially and close your bottom vents. But if it gets out of control, which I don't really see often on a Kamado, man, I use this for our own home, but it's the Prepared Hero made by a firefighter, and you just throw this kind of, it's a blanket on top of the fire and puts it out immediately. So this is something that I often don't see on a Kamado, although grease fires are really normal, but you can typically just shut it. But this is a really cool little thing to have around for safety purposes, regardless of the grill you're using. If you've been finding value in this video, I want you to check out the channel's just plethora of videos on different topics, but related to Kamado cooking. I've got tons of 101 tips, Kamado masterclasses, and even recently a maintenance cleaning mistakes video just on that topic of cleaning and maintenance of your Kamado. And even a few years back, I've got other videos that I think would be helpful for you to check out on the channel to really amplify and speed up your learning on a Kamado. And be sure to put your tips on your Kamado experience in the comments so we can make our comment section like a forum of learning and helping each other. And from my backyard to yours, less hate, more love, good barbecue. Till next time.